Hello and welcome to the Bhagavad Gita series. This series has been a collaboration between Molly Crowley and I. Molly Crowley is an open-hearted graduate from our continuing education series for teachers, and she is going to be co-teaching yoga philosophy with me on the membership site now. So what we did was we started working our way through the Bhagavad Gita, and we got so much material that we decided to stop at chapter 6. So this is an introduction to the first 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. And we're going to do 5 classes for you. And this is going to take you through some of the main themes of the first 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. And so today we're going to begin with the Allegory of War. So you can go ahead and rest back, and we'll begin by contextualizing the theme of the first class, the Allegory of War. So resting back, our class takes place on the shores of Lake Ontario, but the Bhagavad Gita starts on the battlefield with Arjuna, the warrior, about to go to war to defend his brother's claim to the throne. Krishna is the charioteer, and he represents our higher self. Arjuna is the warrior, and he represents our smaller self or our ego. The structure of the battle takes place between our ego and divine. It is the selfish desires which cause the two families, or our higher self and lower self, to come to the battlefield in the first place. But is this great spiritual text actually about war and the justification of war? The story of the war is an allegory or a metaphor for the war within that we experience day in and day out. It is an allegory for the mental, emotional, energetic struggles that we engage in with ourselves every day. The war they are talking about in the Bhagavad Gita is the turmoil in your mind. And in this battle within, we end up fighting both sides between anger and compassion, selfishness and selflessness. It is the endless chaos and turmoil we find within. The thing is, when we fight ourselves, we lose strength and prana, as we like to call it as yogis. And this means less energy to get through our days. More than that, the Gita is humans' exploration with the struggle and the desire for something more. The Gita is an internal dialogue between our ordinary human personality, full of questions about the meaning of life, and our deepest self, which is divine. The conversation takes place deep within Arjuna's consciousness. Krishna is not an external being, human or superhuman, but the spark of divinity that lies at the core of every human being. And so the struggle is a spiritual struggle, not an actual war. And through this epic tale, we learn that the whole purpose of every experience, every activity, every thought is to turn each of us inward and lead us back to our divine source. So go ahead and form an intention for what you would like to get out of this series, or maybe how you would like to work with this allegory of war in your practice today. We're going to be practicing the warrior poses as a way to introduce you to the whole series. Some of the classes to come still are who is Krishna, who is Arjuna, what is karma yoga, and who is a yogi. And so you might want to begin to think about what it is that you want out of this series, how it is that you fight with yourself in your day-to-day life, the struggles that you experience in your day-to-day life between your higher and lower yourself, and form your intention for your practice today. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and wiggle and stretch out. Okay, once you've wiggled and stretched out, you can make your way up to standing. And we're going to start right away with the warrior postures. And if you have any stretches that you want to do first, you could go ahead and do those. I just wanted to let you know that I did wear my Ganesh t-shirt today because it's great to invoke Ganesh at the beginning of something. So we're beginning a new series today, so I'm wearing Ganesh for the beginning of the new series. Okay, so we're going to come up to standing. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with Warrior 1 pose, Virabhadra 1. And this represents Arjuna, who is Arjuna. And also, actually, it's who is Krishna, sorry. Because Krishna is the one who is fully present, fully in the moment, and fully aware of what's happening. And this can be a little scary at first, but your higher self is always present with you through every situation and unchanging. So that's why I chose this for Warrior 1. So you're going to take a big step back through your left foot, sink down through your front right sit bone, and bring your arms straight up. So even though it can be kind of scary for our lower self to be present in this pose and to face life head on, it can open us something much deeper than the surface level drama of life. And then go ahead and let this side of the posture fall out of your body. Stand at the top of your mat again. And then you're going to take a big step back with your right foot. Turn your hips to face the front edge of your mat. Sink down through your front left sit bone and bring your arms straight up. And I want to share with you something that Molly noted about this pose. She says, this posture, Vira, has no single point of physical focus, as the two sides of your body are doing very different things. It is a pose that forces you to confront any barriers or limitations physically. And when you hold it for a long time, it also confronts emotional and mental limitations. Okay, and then go ahead and let this posture fall out of your body and come up to the front of your mat. And then we're going to come into Warrior 2, and this one is who is Arjun. Okay, so you're going to take a big step back with your left foot. Turn your hips to face the long edge of your mat. Roll your right knee out so you can see your big toe. Bring your arms up parallel to the ground. Okay, the reason why I chose this pose to represent Arjun, the warrior, is because Arjun worries about the past and the future all the time. And this pose represents our past with your arm behind you and your future with your arm in front of you. And Arjun doesn't do a very good job of staying in the present moment. So that's why I chose this pose. And it's Krishna that always has to bring him back to the present moment. And here, this is Krishna in the middle here in this pose. Present moment. Relax your arms down, straighten your legs, turn your right toes in and your left toes out. And then you're going to sink down through your left sit bone and bring your arms up again. And so again, you can see how it's in the extremities that you're in the past and the future, like Arjun. And then it's Krishna that anchors Arjun in the present moment. Roll your left knee out. And then go ahead and let this posture out of your body. Okay, now for Warrior 3, Virabhadra 3, we're going to do what is Karma Yoga. And this is, in the West, we call it Karma Yoga. And this is the yoga of action. So the Bhagavad Gita, it espouses the yoga of action. It doesn't want you to go and sit in a cave and meditate all the time. It doesn't want you to renounce everything in the world. It says that you can do your yoga while living in the world. And so this is about right action in the world, and action done with awareness, without worry, and with compassion. So the Bhagavad Gita does not espouse inaction at all. So we will act, and Warrior 3 is the yoga, the warrior pose of action. So it's about shooting those peaceful arrows in the world. So stand on your right foot, bring your arms up, inhale. Exhale, hinge your torso over your legs, taking your left leg behind. And then we'll take our action on our other leg as well too. Stand on your left leg. Take your arms up, inhale. Exhale, rotate your pelvis over your left leg bone. Bring your body parallel to the ground. Lift your bandhas as well. Lift up to your pelvic floor, draw your navel back to your spine. And then go ahead and let this out of your body. Okay, we're going to do humble warrior. And I don't think we've done this one before. It's a new warrior pose to me. So I'm pretty sure we haven't done it before. But humble warrior is a great representation of karma yoga as well, because when you do your action in the world according to the Bhagavad Gita, you're not supposed to be attached to the results or expect glorification or reward from the results of your action. So you do it without any expectation of how it's going to turn out or expecting any reward for it. So come to the front of your mat. It starts in Warrior 1. You step back with your left foot. And you're going to sink down. You take your arms behind you and open up through your chest. So humble warrior bows forward. And it's action without expectation of recognition or glorification. And some of you may be able to bow forward a lot more than me as well. So don't let my limitations be your limitations. Okay, then release. Let's just turn it around. Turn your right toes in, your left toes out. So your hips are going to face the other short end of the mat. Sink through your left sit bone. Open up through your chest again. Inhale, open. Fold forward. Humble warrior. Work without expectation of glory or gratification. Breathing. Okay, great. Come back to center, turn your toes, your feet wide, toes forward. And then we're going to do peaceful warrior. So right toes out, left toes in. Sink down through your right sit bone. Hips face the long edge of your mat so you have warrior 2 legs and arms. And then you're going to arc your left arm back. Okay, so peaceful warrior represents who is a yogi. This kind of is an introduction to our class, who is a yogi. And yogis have equanimity and profound peace of mind, you will find out. When you are unmoved by the confusion of your ideas and your mind is completely unified, united in deep peace, you will act in the perfect state of yoga. Okay, then turn your toes in. Left toes come out, right toes come in. So warrior 2 legs again. Hips face the long edge of your mat. Sink down through your left sit bone. Arms come up, warrior 2 arms. Sink back. So who is a yogi? Yogis are very peaceful in their minds. So try and embody that peace in your pose. Feel that in your body. Feel that in your mind, feel that in your breath, in your emotions, and in your spirit here. And then go ahead and release this posture for your body. We're going to sit down for some pranayam, some breath practice. Okay, so in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, when we fight ourselves, we lose strength, prana, and energy. And so to close our practice today, and we'll do a shavasana after this, we are going to do alternate nostril breathing with breath retention. And the idea behind this is that instead of losing energy outwards, we're going to gather it up inside us. So there's a saying that a yogi keeps their prana within. So non-yogi would spend a lot of time dispersing their energy outside of them by fighting, by watching violent television, media, that kind of thing. A lot of what we do in our day-to-day life causes our energy to disperse outwards. And so a yogi would practice keeping their energy within them. And this is a breath practice that keeps your energy within. It does involve breath retention. And so if you can't hold your breath, you're just going to keep your continuous. I'm actually going to be filming a little video blog post on alternate nostril breathing this week. So I'm going to cover off a few of the things that are going to be in that blog post here kind of quickly, but you can go and look at that as well. One of the things has to do with handedness. If you are left-handed, by all means use your left hand as the mudra hand for your alternate nostril breathing. That's totally fine. The other thing is, when you're closing your nostrils, be sure to close them off just right at the top of the bridge of your nose, right underneath the cartilage, right where it gets soft. There are very small closures to your nose there, and you don't want to close them where the big holes are, but where the very small holes are right underneath the cartilage. Okay? That's enough of the seal is there. Okay? I like to use my first two fingers extended. You don't have to, you can use them tucked in. I just find this more grounding. So if you're a Vata like me, it's probably nice. If you're Kapha, you're probably fine with tucking your fingers in. So the way it's going to work today, the alternate nostril breathing, Nadhi Shodhana, is you're going to inhale for 5 counts through your left nostril. Then you're going to close both nostrils. We're going to hold the breath in both sides for 5 counts. Then we're going to breathe out through your right nostril for 5 counts. And then we'll breathe in again through your right nostril. We're going to hold it in for 5 counts. And then you'll breathe out through your left nostril. Okay, so I'll keep track of all this for you, the counting and everything. And yeah, I see Tim has his timer out, so that'd be nice. Why don't we do this for 3 minutes? Okay? So take a normal breath in, normal breath out. Inhale left. Close both nostrils. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close both nostrils. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close both. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close both. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close both. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close both. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close both. Close out right. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close both. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close both. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close both. And breathe out left. Then lower your hand down. Breathing in and out through both nostrils. And just feel the effect of this breath practice for you. Notice if it feels like you've gathered up more energy within you. And then go ahead and rest back in Shavasana. As you rest back in Shavasana, reflect back on your practice. What stands out? What seems most important as you reflect back on the Allegory of War? How does that relate to your day-to-day life? What's one small thing you can take away from this class and put into action into your life? Gradually allow your breath to deepen. Go ahead and wiggle and stretch out. Bend your knees. Roll to your side. And make your way up to seated. Thank you for joining me, Molly and I, for the first class in the Bhagavad Gita series. And thank you to Rashmi for her continued tutelage in Sanskrit. I was not saying that right at all before. I will see you tomorrow for our class on Karma Yoga. Namaste.